I can see him now in my heart, living through me. As busy as I was as a mom, in the church, with children, I knew God was there, but I didn't know that He was specifically for me, that He could work inside of me and make a difference to how I behaved, the actions that I took, to live out as close as is possible His life. I'm embarrassed to say I didn't know that till coming here, even though being in Christian ministry. While we take the next breath, God is in us. He is causing us for a purpose to take that breath. I have to mention my son. His name is Chris, and I brought him here after high school. I gave him several choices because he didn't seem too willing to do too much in my analysis of things. And on the way over here on the ferry, when it was all done and decided that this is where he would come, I remember him saying to me, "You know, Mom, I'm only going to Cape and Ray because you're making me." And I thought to myself, at least if nothing else, I'll have a year of peace. As maybe some parents do with their kids, I don't know. But I missed him. I missed him terribly. He called me. He called me a fair bit. He called me a lot, complaining. Wanted to know one day if I had paid fees for him to come here. And of course I said yes. And he says, "Well, Mom, they make us work all the time. There's something very wrong." And I stifled my laugh because I knew by that time what Cape and Ray was all about and how and being here now even more, but every single thing is done for our benefit, for the young person's benefit, for their development, for things that their eyes will see, that their hands will experience. So Chris wasted quite a bit of his year here, I'm sorry to say, and he would be sorry to say. But one story he told me that made me know that God was the author of getting him to be here and loving Christ was that he was down on the government dock where in those days you weren't allowed to go. He had climbed up to the top of a piling on the dock. And as clear as hopefully I'm talking to you today, a seagull flew by. And he said, "Mom," just as if God was speaking through that seagull, he said to me, "Just exactly how many opportunities that I give you will you waste?" And Chris doesn't know himself how he got safely off that piling because he had heard the voice of God. Absolutely. And that day and the rest of Cape and Ray changed his life. Chris went on from here to do 2 years in another ministry. He got his ordination and he became a pastor in the city of Victoria. So, of course, I'm so grateful for what God has done in his life. Was it a bit of a trial? For him, yes. For me, yes. But to have an ending like this to our story, our family story, and to now so many people who recognize and love Chris for what he does and love the God that they see in him. Christ acts through Chris, whether he's on the streets in Victoria. And I know his foundation was here, very solidly implanted.